Everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to where you're at in the world. This is Viper Strike 95 Flight Simulation, and today we're back here in Molde Airport in Norway, and we're going to be doing two more legs today of our Norway trip. We're going to be heading to two pretty interesting cities up there. First, we'll be heading our way over to Namsos. And then from Namsos, we're going to actually go off into the Norwegian Sea and find the small island of Røst, just outside the village of Røstlandet in Echo November Romeo Sierra. So yeah, let's go over for the flight plan today. So let's go over this flight. Wait, my name's Austin too. Oh my gosh, my first name's Austin as well. So yeah, we have multiple Austins. Pretty crazy. And Dougal McTavish, good to see you too. And G-Ride94, great to see you, Garrett. I hope you have an amazing time in Bloomington. Bloomington's a fantastic college town, by the way. Especially if you've never been up to Bloomington. Basically, Bloomington, Indiana is IU basketball country. And IU basketball fans are pretty crazy for them. So let's go over our flight plan for this for today. It should be popping up soon. Where is that? Where did I put the little map? But now map has to be up here. Little nav map. No, not it. Sorry about that, guy. I'm gonna miss you, man. I hope I'm gonna be doing well. You're gonna go to the class reunion next year. I'm hoping to go to the class reunion and reunite with some of my old schoolmates. I do apologize for 1 second. Let me go ahead and get the little nav map working. So do forgive me for this. It's great to see you, Dougal McTavish. You're working and lurking while working. No worries, Dougal. So I do just gotta take me a second. So let me just blow back the flight plan and get this thing back up to the OBS. So give me 1 second. There you go. Okay, guys. Just let me reduce this back to size and okay. So let's go over today's flight plan, shall we? So we're going to take off here from Molde. We're going to actually head up to our PY landmarker today, Storsand Bridge. From the bridge, we're going to head back up to the main of the fjords, cross through this checkpoint, and then we'll be heading our way to Namsos in an Echo November Mike. And then from here, we're going to travel through here. We're going to breach into the Norwegian Sea and visit Røst. And Røstlandet, just outside the village, is Røst Airport, Echo November Romeo Sierra. So that is today's airport for our flight plan today. So you guys want to know what plane I'm flying today? Well, today I'll be flying a very cool and very popular plane, and has been a long-time favorite of mine. And that plane is actually the de Havilland DHC-6 Twin Otter. More specifically, this is the DHC-6 100 model, and it has the insignia of the Norwegian Air Force. Now, the Norwegian Air Force has actually operated a few DHC-6 100s during its time in military service, mainly used to transport stuff as a transport plane. What's so special about this mighty Twin Otter, you may ask? Well, it's made by the folks at de Havilland, Canada, originally produced from 1965 to 1988 for the Series 100-300 models. And then it's been reproduced back in 2008 when Viking got the plane for the 400 models. Currently now, over 985 planes have been made, have been produced since then. But this plane is an absolute beast for stall takeoffs. Basically, it's the twin-engine version of the popular DHC-3 Otter with two big old turboprop engines. Each of these turboprops can produce quite a bit of power, 578 horsepower each. And this thing can cruise up to 770 nautical miles. It can reach a max cruise speed of 160 knots. And it can carry nearly 2,000 pounds of payload, making this quite the versatile plane. And the Norwegian Air Force has actually operated, I believe, in terms of military operants, Norway used to operate on them until they retired from service. But yeah, it's a very cool plane. Very, very cool Twin Otter. But actually, the real reason I wanted to actually take this plane today was because yesterday, Aerosoft came up with an update. And it was not a minor update at all. In fact, it was actually one of the most important updates they did for it. They actually gave this thing new sounds. Yes, a whole new sound set. They actually managed to get the recordings for the sound of this thing. And let me tell you, I did some flights with this yesterday, and I gotta say, the Twin Otter sounds far better than it was before. It sounds way better. Even Two-Tone Murphy has said that before. So let's get in the cockpit of the Twatter, or Twin Otter. Let's go through our checklist. It should be somewhat of an easy plane. Like I said, it's not the most in-depth plane, but it does have some really cool things going for it. So we're going to remove the control lock. That control lock lets you access all this. The parking brakes are, we're going to go ahead and set the parking brake. We're going to turn these things back to normal, but they've already been set as normal. These are the emergency fuel switches that go here in case you have an engine fire and all that. Fuel selector should be turned normal. It is. Fuel boost pumps, they will be set on. So there you go, that. We need to set the cabin light and signs. On. Position light will be turned on. High generators will be off. Flaps are up. Fuel levers are off. And the propellers, we're going to go ahead and put them all the way forward. Let's hold. Okay, my application thing's working. Good. Okay, pull forward. We're going to turn the power on to idle right here. Ignition is normal. Ignition is normal. Okay, normal. We just turn on the external battery. DC on. And we turn on the master switch. Pretty easy, and we are checked. I've set to 85% fuel. That should be enough for today's flight. So that's going to be that. Now we're going to turn on the right fuel. We're going to turn on the forward boost pump, which has already been on. We're going to go ahead and engage the right engine starter. I'm actually going to turn off my Twitch soundtrack music so you guys can actually hear the new sounds. But let's turn this bad boy. Hey, Common Crazy, good to see you, Common Crazy. I've been struck by a Viper. Morning, dude. So this is the new Twin Otter. This thing just got updated yesterday. Some brand new sounds and everything. So I just wanted to actually turn on each of these once, so you guys can actually hear the sounds of this Otter. And let me tell you, it definitely. Hey, Two-Tone Murphy, yo, Two-Tone Murphy's in the chat. Great to see you. Oh, I agree, Murph. The sounds are so good now. I know it took Aerosoft a while, but I'm glad I'm glad they actually took a while to get the sounds right. I'd rather them have the weight to get the sounds right than not. But yeah. Yeah, this point otter is so good. And let me give a shout out to Two-Tone Murphy. Murph, I think you've more than earned a shout out. But guys, if you haven't checked out the absolutely wonderful Two-Tone Murphy, he is one of my absolute closest friends in the Bison community. So thank you so much, Murph, for coming by. About time to chat on this one. Okay, so let's go back inside and finish the rest of this checklist. We turn the right fuel lever. We center it, and then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the left engine starter. But yeah, he's going to be streaming tonight, so I'm hoping we get to catch a Norse stream as well. We just turn on the other engine. I just wanted to turn this up so you guys can actually, hear the new sounds. Yeah, they sound really, really good. And like I said, I completely agree, Murph. This, like, the sounds are so much better. Like, this thing actually sounds like a twin otter. It really does. We're gonna go ahead and turn on the engine generators. Turn them on. Compass and gyros have been set. We're gonna turn on the caution lights. We're gonna turn on the wings lights. We're gonna turn on strobe lights. And we're turning on the beacon lights. So yeah, that's gonna be everything turned on. We're gonna turn on taxi lights and the lane lights too. We are about to take off. But yeah, okay, that's everything, guys. So let me go ahead and set the heading. We're gonna be going to 5 minutes. So, but yeah, everything should sound pretty good in this twin otter. So yeah, if you guys actually like the sounds. So let's go ahead and get this thing taxied. We're going to take off here from runway 25 as well. So by the way, guys, before we get started, I am doing this for the iconic virtual airline community, the Firefly Air. Guys, if you're interested in joining Firefly Air and want to join a virtual airline, but you don't have the cash to pay for Skypark or On Air, click the link. It'll send you to Firefly Air. It's completely free from FS Hub, and we teach you all the steps needed to join the virtual airline. And yes, even pilots on Xbox can get involved in this, which I think is probably one of the best, if not the best thing about this whole virtual airline. Let's go ahead and get this position, take it off here. We're going to cruise around 3,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and set 3,000 feet on the autopilot thing, so when we get ready to take off, we can get ready to fly. But yeah, it's great to have everyone here today. Before I take off, there's also one more thing I do want to show you guys, if you don't mind. Let me get this 1 second. Okay. So I got this in the mail yesterday. It is the legendary DC-3, and more specifically, this one is about the Britling DC-3 that went around the world. And this one's really cool. It has all the different pictures. It has all the notes from the pilots. It has tons of awesome pictures. But yeah, I got this from Amazon a couple days ago, and it's awesome. So all the information from that stream is coming from the book, like from all the pilots and their journeys. So great to see you. Hey, Fallen Up 88, good to see you, Fallen Up. You saw me at Lake Tahoe last night. Yes, I was. I was flying the new Twin Otter update. It's been going great. I've been doing great today. I did a duty schedule earlier to get more XP. And yeah, we're not that far off from a brand new hub for the VA. We only got 700,000 something left to go. So we're doing this pretty quickly. If you guys want to join in, I'm on the Southeast Asia server. We're about to take off here from Echo November Mike Lima. We're doing the Norse Way achievement. I'm gonna go ahead and get this around. This thing is maneuverable. If you guys want to see how short the Twin Otter can actually take off, I'm gonna go ahead and set the flaps so you guys can actually see how short you can get this Twin Otter taken off. I'm gonna go ahead, max power. Oh, they did touch up the sound on this thing. Yes, they did, Fallen Up. They did touch the sounds of it. It's a the whole sound set got overhauled on the Twin Otter. Oh, they did turn up the Twin Otter. It sounds a million times better than the old one. The Twin Otter sounds, before the updates, they were not good. They were not good at all. The Twin Otter now sounds absolutely awesome. So we're gonna take off here and we're gonna go through the old town of Molde. We're gonna cruise around 160 knots today. We're not gonna go super fast. I wanted to take the time to actually explore much of this. So we're back. We're gonna go ahead and turn this thing around. Yeah, the sound was all right. I think there was some timing things that didn't line up. Yeah, that was probably the thing. But they absolutely nailed the sound this time around. It's much better. Like, it didn't sound too bad previously, but this thing is a million times better now. It actually sounds like a Twin Otter. We're gonna climb up to 3,000 feet. We're not gonna go super high on the elevation today. Like I said, most of this area is gonna be flat. We're gonna turn this thing to higher power. Not get this too high, obviously. I'm trying to keep this thing somewhat responsible in the temperature gauge down there. So, but yeah, it sounds fantastic now. The Twin Otter sounds amazing. It's a complete 180. I love the Twin Otter sounds now. Yeah. Here's the thing though, Fallen Up. I've already really liked the Twin Otter though. Sure, the Kodiak may be a higher quality product, but I've always liked flying the Twin Otter. But now it actually sounds as good as it flies. So, yeah. It's now in a great place. So, I'm gonna go ahead and raise the music for a little bit. On some of that music. Alright. Yeah, great to have you guys here today as always. Okay, so guys, our first landmark for today, we actually have our first landmark for today's trip. We should be heading to Storstjornet Bridge. It's actually a P-wide landmark from a solo, so it made this a P-wide landmark. But basically, it's the longest of the 8 bridges that make up the Atlanterhavsveien, the road connection between mainland and the island of Aviora. It is nearly 260 meters long, or 850 feet, and a maximum clearance to the sea of 23 meters, or 75 feet. Opened back in 1989, it was a toll road until June 1999. It took 6 years to actually build this bridge, and workers struggled with the region's wild weather, and believe it or not, 12 hurricanes actually interrupted the construction of this bridge before it was built. Yes, 12 hurricanes. There are hurricanes in Norway. As some's odd to believe it. But yeah, oh yeah, the Twin Otter, absolute unit of a plane. I agree, it's an absolute unit of a turboprop. It does cargo. It can do airline flights. There's not much a Twin Otter can't do. There's nothing a Twin Otter can't do. The only thing a Twin Otter can't is probably being, it's only stuck to being 2 engines instead of 4. Yeah, it can't outrange the Kodiak, says Airlock Doc. Good to see you, Airlock. Yes, it can't outrange a Kodiak. That is absolutely great. I agree with you on that one, Airlock. You don't have to tell me that twice. But, I mean, everything else, this thing is extremely capable. And like I said, the sound issues have finally been mediated, which I think for many people was probably the biggest issue of the Twin Otter was the sounds. I'm hoping that they continue to keep updating the Twin Otter a bit to improve some of the other areas of it. But, I mean, once those other issues get stamped out a bit, this is going to be a very nice plane. I don't know if it's going to be the same quality as the Kodiak, but if it's somewhere similar, I think that would be in a great place. Maybe it's just me. So our bridge should be down below. I'm going to go ahead and start descending this to 2,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and descend speed just to lower it down a bit. Like I said, I'm not. There he is who doesn't. There he is who doesn't even love Yogi the Bear. It's a short landing takeoff in the Kodiak, not quite as fast, but then again, the Kodiak can't hear. Exactly. The Kodiak. I do like the Kodiak, and I'm definitely taking the Kodiak on the Norway trip. On one of my streams, I'm definitely taking the Kodi. But I felt like this would be a good time to show off the Twin Otter due to all the sound fixes they've managed to do with. Yeah, I do really enjoy the Twin Otter now. I've always liked the Twin Otter, but hello, hey, Worker Killup's with us today. Awesome, Worker Killup, welcome. But yeah, I'm gonna put it out here in the strobe view because I wanted to show you. I wanted you guys to hear the sound of the Twin Otter now, since some of you wanted to know why the Twin Otter is something a little different. Oh, the Vision Jet just came out. Oh. I'm thinking about getting the Vision Jets. Vision Jet's actually pretty good. It might be up my alley. It's a jet, but it's nice and small, which is probably perfect for someone like me. I'm gonna go ahead and just send this even further. Just decreasing so I can get to see, so you guys get to see the bridge a little easier. I have more hours in the Kodiak than any other planes. Then you've been flying the wings off. Ah, that's great. Yeah, Murph's gonna be. Tuto Murphy was here earlier in chat, but he's gonna be showing off the Vision Jet later today, and then I know Fabio's been flying that as well. I'm gonna turn off the autopilot for just a second. So yeah, guys, I wanted to ask you, since it's been a while since I've chatted. here's our bridge. Here's the source done at bridge. Oh yeah, and guys, by the way, if you guys haven't checked out my Discord, good to see you. So definitely check out the Discord if you haven't followed. First time chat. Yeah, thanks, Dougal. It was a bot. See, this is the bridge here that's a PY Lamb. This here is the Source Sundet Bridge. Here's the bridge, and it matches this. So there's Source Sundet Bridge. It's around 260 meters long. 75 feet high. Back up. Power. Don't stall. Oh, it just saved it. Go ahead and cruise the rest of it to 3,000 feet. Yeah, this thing is an absolute beast when it comes to... I don't see myself getting Division since I've already had the Honda jets, and they seem to cover the same speed and range. Ah, good point. But I don't have the Honda jets, so I don't know when to get... Though I'm more interested in the Vision jet than the Honda jet, to be honest. And that's coming from someone who actually likes Hondas. The cars, if you know what I'm talking about. I doubt I'll get the Vision either, it's just my thing, but it seriously looks good. Oh, definitely, the Vision jet looks great. So if you guys want to know what happened, by the way, so apparently I did not end up getting the Polaris PC-21 that I got from the event this past weekend. So instead, I'll be ended up getting the I got a €25 voucher on Sim Market. Hopefully, I'm going to be waiting to see what other plane comes out from Sim Market. Maybe wait for Dash 7. Potentially get the Dash 7 from there, which is a plane you guys know I'm very interested in. Or whatever new hub Murph might end up picking. Because if it's not covered by handcraft by Subo, it probably might have to get some payware. So it would be much easier just to wait and use that money for that. Yeah. That's what I'm going to be doing. I love the H-Jet, but the Vision's a different category. Yeah, it's more hop and go GA. Exactly. The Vision Jet is so much smaller than a Honda Jet. That means you can. It's basically a small. It's like a single engine plane version. It's like a jet version of a Cessna 172 or an SR-22, which you can take you throughout many of the similar fields, but. Should have sent you a PayPal. Well, I don't have a PayPal account, Airlock Doc. And to be fair, it would have to be sent to my parents' PayPal. But my parents are kind of a little scared about money being given to PayPal accounts, so I just accepted the market voucher because at least it's something that I know works. Though I can understand why you would probably say that, Bo. And you're not wrong at all. So yeah, if you guys don't mind, I'll be talking a little bit about the news since, if you don't mind what came since Sunday. I usually like to talk about the news because it's something that happens. Something else could happen from earlier. Looks like not too many other things came out from then. Only just the Vision Jet came out. That's just about it. Oh, and And I also got this in the mail yesterday. I showed this off a little earlier, but Around the World, the Legendary DC3 by, it's by two people. The photography is done by Katsuhiko Tokunaga, and the text is by Francisco Aguilio, one of the people working for the flight. So I got this for $20, and it's got tons of amazing pictures that are going throughout the entire journey. Like this, got tons of awesome pictures. It's got information about some of the flights. So if I need to, I will copy it out from the routes from the page. For example, here's one about from Macau to Taipei. And they talk about how they're being escorted by the Taiwanese Air Force planes. It talks about all their events and stories of history. Well, PayPal is accepted in most every shop that sells it. Gotcha. Gotcha, that makes sense, Airlock. Like I said, I didn't really know you can do that with PayPal. Thanks for letting me know, Airlock. I really appreciate it. Maybe that's something to consider for the future. Yeah, maybe I could have used the PayPal thing, and I could have bought the PC-20 from there, but I didn't know how it works. Hey, first time chat from I am the Xerox. Good to see you, my friend. This plane here is the de Havilland DHE-6 Twin Honor. This is made by Aerosoft. It just got a pretty big update yesterday. As I am the Xerox is following. Good, thank you so much for following along. It got a huge sound update. Let me just turn this to exterior view. You can probably check why. So here's the exterior view, and you can definitely see they added a ton of new sounds to this plane. It's a whole new sound set, and man, it sounds so good now. I'm not kidding. The Twin Honor sounds amazing. Beforehand, the sounds were all messed up, and now the new sound set from the recordings they got, oh, it's a million times better. And Blockstrot, good to see you, my friend. Blocks. Check out Blockstrot's channel. He's going to be streaming later tonight, but he's an awesome content creator and a very close friend of mine in the community as well. So yeah, definitely shout him out as well. But so we have Worker Killa, and we actually also have Efe Denzel with us today. Thank you guys so much for catching a flight with us today. So many awesome people with us, and so many incredible people here too. So yeah, we're going along, and if you're here for the first time, we're actually doing the flight across Røstlandet. This is for 7 streams. We've already done legs 1 through 4. This is for the virtual airline achievement for FS Hub, the Norse way. So we're flying all the way across the entire country. So yeah, welcome to the stream as well. But man, it's a beautiful environment today. Look at the scenery here, guys. These shots, like these camera shots, they are, I mean, it is stunning how beautiful the descent is. Now obviously we're not going to get too much flight up here the further north we're going to be going, because as you guys know, the further north you end up in the world, the less sunlight. And this is going to be winter too, so especially once we get to an area like Tromsø, for example, which is way further up north, we're not going to have much light. So I may have to actually change the date so we can actually get some light. I know I don't like doing that, but we're a BFR sort of thing. And I really you guys want to see the actual beauty of Molde. So yeah. Hey, Joey. Hey, and it's also, we got the Joey Bolo, baby. Joey Bolo, great to see you. I hope you, Mrs. Bolo, and Baby Bolo are doing well. But they also do flights and streaming stuff as well. Another good friend to the community. This is the Twin Otter, and it just got a huge sound update yesterday, Joey. That's why I took it out for today. I mean, I wasn't expecting to hear a sound update. In fact, it was Fabulous Stream that mentioned there was an update to it. But man, this Twin Otter is so good. I'm not kidding. It actually sounds wonderful. Yeah, I hope you're doing great, Bolo. So yeah, I hope you're doing well, as always. So let's look more from the inside. You can definitely see in the back we have our cargo. It could be anything we want. Possibly, because this is a military version, we probably have some military cargo that needs to be delivered. Some classified information. I can't tell you which is which, but it is that. Didn't realize the Hellcat was more. I have to stop quick buy. No, I definitely want to get the DHC-6 Hellcat. But that's a screenshot worthy material if you ask me. That is just stunning. I'm happy to take the Twin Otter out today. Just very, very happy. Thanks for the shout out, buddy. We're doing great. We got a little 10-9s in the old wrist, still flying hurts. Sorry to hear about that, Joey. Hope that gets better by then. So yeah, if you guys are interested in joining the Discord, I actually have a Discord here as well. And if you guys haven't followed, it would be great. I hope that we get everyone ready for the big around the world trip as well. And speaking of around the world trip, I actually have the around the world trip page on the Discord. I've already shown you the book that will be based off the information for the streams. And there's someone actually answered my request for a DC-3 livery of the plane, and it's here in the Discord. So that way, if you guys want to actually have the livery, I actually have it in the Discord. So I don't look like a bonanza. For obvious reasons. I don't want to be viewed as a bonanza. So in terms of other news from FS Elite, so a couple of news as well. So since then, let's see. Since November 26th. Oh yeah, a couple things. PMDG is actually confirmed that they're going to make a 777X, which is going to be in the plan to make a 777X. Which, if you guys don't know, the 777X is going to be the newest long haul wide body that Boeing actually has, and it is a stupidly big Boeing, by the way. So they're going to actually bring that out in the future. It might be 2024 when that comes. I mean, it's enormous. I mean, it's 200. The 777X, which is it can go. The longest version of it is the 9 model 777-9. I think it's 251 feet, range of over 7,000 nautical miles. And it can actually carry tons of seats. It can actually carry up to 300 seats, which is pretty big, and apparently it's been ordered by quite a few airlines, mainly Lufthansa, Cathay Pacific, ANA, All Nippon Airways, Qatar Airways, Emirates are all ordering them. So, very, very cool airliner to have. FSDG also released the Bremen Airport. And of course, there's also a new airport for Juneau, done by the folks at Northern Sky Studio. Came out with their own Juneau Airport in Alaska's capital, which I've been to in real life, and I actually got to see Juneau Airport. The A310 is seriously the longest haul wide body I need. Yeah, that's what's the great thing about the 40th anniversary update. You've got your long haul wide body in the update, the study level A310, which, I mean, I'm still surprised even now that we already now have a long body, wide body long haul for free. You didn't have to pay anything. Oh, it's this. Hey, Kai Dolphin 2013 with the follow. Thank you so much for following along, and welcome. Welcome to the Viper Strike Snake Pit. Great to see you here as well. Also, speaking about the A310 fauna, Indy Pilots is actually going to get the A306F, which basically is their flagship plane from the X-Plane days. They're going to actually bring it into it coming soon. So they're actually working on that one in development for cargo. Yeah, it is for cargo. And the reason I might be interested in it is because, well, where I live, I'm just 30 minutes from the UPS Worldport at Louisville Sanford Airport. And I see quite a few A300s make their way to the airport. So I'm very familiar with those kind of planes. So that's what piqued my interest. It's a fantastic cargo plane. But yeah, FedEx currently uses them right now, UPS uses them, and the most recent airline that still operates it is Mahan Air in Iran. But they were the very first successful twin-engine wide-bodies. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've been through there. I have family in Indianapolis. Ah, yes, Indianapolis is also a cargo hub, too. I forgot. Indianapolis is done a lot of FedEx flights as a cargo hub, too. So, yeah, really, really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and get a few slides done. Let me go ahead and go through some of my slides. So today I'm going to be talking about the political structure of Norway for a bit. I know we don't talk about politics here, but this is all pretty objective stuff. So let's start with the politics of Norway for a bit. Norway is actually one of the most developed democracies in the world. And for example, from 1814, around 45% of men that were 25 and older had the right to vote, compared to other countries at the time. Like the United Kingdom only had 20% of people voting. Sweden around 5%, and Belgium was just above 1% in 1840. And since 2010, Norway has been considered by many to be the world's most democratic country. Yes, democracy is very strong in Norway. And Norway is also home to one of the oldest constitutions in all of Europe. That was established in 1840, inspired by both the French Revolution and the United States Declaration of Independence. But for some people that don't realize, despite this country being democratic, it's actually a constitutional monarchy, which means, yes, Norway has a king. In particular, the current king of Norway is King Harald V, and the Queen of Norway is Queen Sonja. They've been reigning since 1991 in power. But he actually still has executive power, but his role mainly now is representative in ceremonial works. Now, the legislative power is vested in both the government and the legislature, the Storting, which is elected in a multi-party system, and the judiciary is independent of all three branches, similar to the United States mainly. And as a result, Norway is pretty rich in political freedom. It's very free among the press and all that sort of stuff too. Oh, wind farm to the right. Okay, nice. Oh, there. I think our wind farm was over there. We passed it. Yeah, we did pass it, Worker Killer. But yeah, Norway is one of the freest countries in the world. And then let's talk about the Constitution of Norway. Norway's Constitution was signed by the Idsfull Assembly back in May 1814 and transferred Norway from an absolute monarchy to a constitutional monarchy. It is the latter date was actually the National Day of Norway, and it's actually one of the world's most liberal and democratic constitutions in the world. And believe it or not, it's the fourth oldest written single national constitution in Europe. The only ones older is the Constitution of Poland in 1791. The French Constitution of 1791, and Spain's Constitution in 1812. And despite although it may not be the oldest in Europe, but it's actually the second oldest working national constitution. The only one older is the United States Constitution of the United States in 1789. How cool is that? This document's actually pretty old, and it's a pretty successful constitution. Now, the reason they actually kept Norway a constitutional monarchy was so it could facilitate Denmark-Norway's unification. The Constitution of Norway also shows a mix between radical and traditional values, but that's actually what kept this thing such a very liberal constitution. Like separation of powers between all the different branches were inspired by the U.S. and French. However, the king, a constitutional church, came from the traditional foods. So basically, this thing was developed during this time of age, and they made all sorts of changes during that time, including lifting the prohibition against Protestantism, the monks, universal male suffrage in 1898, universal suffrage in 1913, new provision on the freedom of expression, and removed the system of the different courts in 2007. So these are all kinds of things that they've written in the Constitution. So it's got tons of different things about it, which is really cool. There's more to look at. I jumped from a couple of these birds. So glad they improved the sounds. Oh, absolutely. The sounds on this twin are so much better. The sounds of the twin are night and day. It sounds just like what a Twin Otter should, because if you play this in front of a Twin Otter, like on a video, you can definitely tell the sounds are so slow. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying some of this conversations. But it's really cool to learn about the structure of politics within the government of Norway. Like I said, I hope I'm not being too political here as well. I know I'm trying to avoid politics when need to be, but I'm keep this as objective as possible and keep this based off information and facts. Delete with too much politics. Everything's so political these days. I'm trying to actually be very careful. Actually pull this outside. We have FA Denzel and Warfare Killer. They're flying along behind us. Just want to pop around and check them out behind. Yep. Oh, I forgot to actually turn off the lane lights. Turn off those and turn off the text. I forgot to turn off the lights. Yeah, they really, like I said, Duo, I agree with you. They definitely improved the sound of the plane. Let me go ahead and get the radar findings. So we are about 70 nautical miles away from our first stop. So, oh, we see someone new. We see Firehand 89 down below us. There's Firehand down below us. Here's a wind farm, and then if you look to your left, down below us, this is Echo November Oscar Lima. This airport is Orland Fly Station, right outside of Harbor and Brookstone. It's actually known as Orland Airport. And it's mainly operated by DAT, Danish Air Transport. They do flights to Narvik, Oslo, and Stord. Yeah, see, that's another one of these airports on all the islands. Oh, okay, I'm just checking out Sky to Sim. Yeah, I saw Sky for Sim. It just had a discount on Flight Sim Association. They had a discount for it. I've seen 2Cats use this thing before. But yeah, it's got a discount for it, so maybe I'd be interested in it. But I know that 2Cats operates it, so I may need to ask 2Cats to see if he recommends Sky for Sim. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the rest of the slides for this leg. So next is the executive branch of Norway. Norway actually has its own executive branch, but the executive branch of Norway, we all know it's a constitutional monarchy. Like I said earlier, it's a constitutional monarchy with the king that has symbolic power. And the royal house itself is a branch of the Schleswig-Holstein-Solzburg-Glücksburg house, and the House of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, Germany. As well. And there's a picture of King Carl, by the way. They're mainly ceremonial. He has mainly ceremonial powers, but he has an influence as a symbol of unity in Norway. And even though the Constitution grants those powers to the king, they're actually exercised by a different government entity called the Council of the State, which is this. So basically, the Council of the State, or the Cabinet of Norway, this former body is composed of some of the most senior government ministers chosen by the Prime Minister, and they actually function as a collective decision-making organ of the executive branch. They also play the role as well as a privy council, as a body that advises the head of the state, as well as a government cabinet. With the exception of the Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, who retain their ministerial ranking in their own right, all other members hold the position known as Statsråd, meaning Counselor of the State, and that of Chief of various different departments. The cabinet usually convenes every single week on Fridays at 11 a.m. at the Royal Palace of Oslo, and is presided over by the monarch. So definitely some pretty cool stuff as well, and basically some of their functions is that they make decisions on the matter of the state, and they often pass so-called royal resolutions or orders in the council. Theoretically, they're mainly the king's decisions, theoretically, but they're practically those from the government. However, they need the contra-signature of the Prime Minister or the Minister of Defense for military stuff. And this was all done in order to remove the personal responsibility on the part of the king, which keeps it in line with the Article 5 of the Constitution, which states, the king's person is sacred, he cannot be censured or accused. Some pretty interesting stuff as well. But basically, the executive branch of Norway is divided by a couple of ministries. They include Prime Minister, Ministry of Agriculture and Food, Children Equality, Ministry of Culture, Defense, Education and Research, Environment. So definitely something pretty interesting to keep in mind with Norway's government and how it works, and that sort of stuff. Well, I was expecting 26 people come along. Thank you guys so much for coming along in the chat, both the workers and the people in chat as well. Thank you so much. Now, in terms of governments, for much of the 20th century, the Labour Party has been the largest party, and thus they've been ruled for much of the time by the Labour governments during that time period. And then we have the legislative branch here in Norway. So Norway has its own legislative branch. Basically, it has a unicameral parliament known as the Storting, the Great Council as they call it, with members elected by the popular vote for a 4-year term, during which it may not be dissolved, and its representation is actually proportional, or PR, which basically means they're under subgroups of electorate that are reflected proportionally in the elected body, and they're mainly in multi-member constituencies. Voting rights are granted in the year when a person turns 18, which is the same age as the United States with their voting rights. Now, currently, the Storting, the Great Council, actually has 169 members, increased from 165 due to the elections of September 12, 2005. And they're elected from 19 different counties in Norway, which is the administrative regions of Norway, for 4-year terms. Until 2009, originally it was a 2-chamber system. One is the oldest ting, and the other is Lagting, and they're mainly voting on legislation. However, that was changed during the division and allowing it to be unified under a unique cameral system. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff about Norway's legislative branch. And then as for political parties, there's quite a lot of them. But elections are held every 4 years on the second Monday of September. And they have tons of parties. For example, I'm looking at the 2021 elections. They have all sorts of different parties. From the Red Party, which is Marxist, there is the Socialist left-wing party. There's your traditional left-wing Labour Party. You have your Centre Party, which is Hungarian. And you also have parties like the Progress Party and the Conservative Party are right. So you definitely have a wide range of different political parties. Comparing that to the United States of America, we have basically two political parties. You have the Democratic Party, which is left-wing, and then the Republicans is basically most of the right-wing, and they both meet in somewhere in the center as well. Like I said, don't want to talk too much about politics, but that's just the way comparing the differences to that as well. And that's pretty good. Hey, Super Typhon, good to see you. Yes, we're heading our way over to Namsos in the newly updated de Havilland Twin Otter, which just got its major update today, and they got brand new sounds for this thing, and I have good news, Super Typhon. This Twin Otter sounds really, really good now. They a whole new sound set, and the sounds sound really, really good. And Kingsman from Liverpool, great to see you. Welcome, you two. So yeah, I'm mainly talking about the politics of Norway. Just try to keep this non-political as I can about politics. I'm just mainly wanting to talk about how the different structures work in Norway. That's all. I know how sensitive of a topic it is, so I'm just trying to keep it non-political. So then we got the judicial branch of Norway. Now the judiciary in Norway is kind of hierarchical, with the Supreme Court of Norway being the apex, just like in the United States with this Supreme Court. Now the boards can hear different types of civil cases. The district courts are the first instance of courts of justice. Then we have the jury courts, and then the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court of Norway is the highest court of justice here in Norway. It is, in the instant appeals perverse are handed down by courts of a lower level, and the decisions made at the Supreme Court are final. They can't be appealed or complained against. The only rare exception to this is if they brought for cases that can be brought before the Court of Human Rights here in Strasbourg, the Strasbourg Court of the European Union. The King of Norway has sole authority to appoint judges to the country Supreme Court and other senior courts, and he can do so on the advice of the country's Judicial Appointments Board, whose members are also appointed by the King of Norway. But, well, and then down below us is the Court of Appeal, and they are separated by 6 districts, and each of them is headed by a senior judge president, and each of these courts have several appellate judges, and some of these include different regions. There's the Bortarting Court here in Oslo, the Eidsivating Court of Appeal in Hamar, the Agder Court of Appeal in Skien, the Gulating Court of Appeal in Bergen, the Frostating Court of Appeal in Trondheim, and finally, Hålogaland Court of Appeal in Tromsø. So those are the courts of appeal. They're below the district. They're above the district courts, below the Supreme Court. And finally, the district courts are the lowest level, and there are 23 district courts, mainly in all the different districts here in Norway. So definitely some pretty interesting things as well about the judicial branch here in Norway. So yeah, that's pretty fun to talk about as well. Just learn about how each of these things work. Is the Vision Jet on my list? Says Super Typhon. It is. I am considering the Vision Jet. However, it's not super high on my list, but it's definitely a plane I'm very interested to. Maybe I'm gonna wait till December. I know Fabio says that they're gonna get the VNAV stuff fixed, so I'm gonna probably wait till January. But yeah, I'm definitely considering definitely considering to get it as well. Now, the administration about the judiciary, by the way, is in charge by the Ministry of Justice and Public Security. And the government agent responsible for the courts is the Norwegian Courts Administration, which is purely administrative, by the way. And here's the interesting thing about Norway. The prisons of Norway are actually very humane, with an emphasis on rehabilitation. And at only 20%, Norway's reconviction rate is some of the lowest in the world. That was pretty interesting as well. Yeah, that is about some of the political systems here in Norway. So that is about the political systems of the country and how things work the way they are. See, some countries have pretty similar ways of doing things, other countries don't. Again, I got this book for my mail yesterday, Super Typhon. Of course, you have my Discord, you probably know, but got the DC free book. All sorts of pictures and stuff, in which I can't wait to show all the information. Christmas. Christmas Day. And I already got all the routes picked, and I got all the routes ready, so we'll be ready to fly them. But it will be by far the biggest journey I've ever done. So, by the way, flying along with you is Worker Killa and F.A. Denzel. Again, thank you guys so much. This is a group flight, so if you all want to join me, if any of you guys want to join me, Southeast Asia server. Our closest airport is Echo November Sierra Charlie. That's the closest airport. Just don't spawn on top of me because some people have CTD issues. I know there's been an update that fixed a few CTDs, but I don't know how much we truly fixed it. But yeah, today's been beautiful today. Sunrise, along with that gray paint on this thing. Looks absolutely awesome with the gray paint of the military Twin Otter. Sounds awesome. It sounds incredible. Let's see how much far we are from our way out. Okay, 30 nautical miles out. We're only 30 nautical miles away from our stop at Namsos. So, okay guys, I'll be giving you a couple more Norway facts. Here's a couple more interesting ones that I want to talk about. Here's a really funny thing about Norway that's pretty funny. Norway First is actually home to a city known as Hell, Norway. A little over 1,000 of them live there. It has its own train station. You can also find rock carvings there of reindeer believed to be 5,000 years old. Also, here's the funny thing about Norway too. The income and wealth of all the residents of Norway is actually on public record. So that means all your taxes, all your income taxes are actually on public record. And the reason they actually thought about this is because tax evasion becomes more difficult to accomplish when all your information is public knowledge. Oh yeah, here's an absolutely funny Norway fact. You wouldn't believe this, but the Colonel-in-Chief of Norway, of the King's Guard in Norway, is actually a penguin. Yes, you've heard right, a penguin. His name is Brigadier Sir Niels Olaf. Has held the title of Colonel-in-Chief of these King's Guard since 2005. And this tradition goes way back to 1972, actually, when they adopted a penguin from the Edinburgh Zoo. And it's been actually carried out to 3 king penguins since 1972. So yes, it's a penguin. I'm not kidding. It's hilarious. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Norway is not actually powered by oil and gas. 90% of all Norway's power usage is actually drawn by all their hydroelectric plants. So yeah, pretty fun thing to talk about Norway. So yeah, that is some interesting facts about Norway. The scenery out here is just beautiful stuff. Yeah, guys, I want to ask you guys, since this might be the last time I get to see you until Sunday, I hope you guys are going to come up with something big during your start of the weekend and all that. For me, I'm just going to continue working on the stream. Maybe I'll get a little head start on the Around the World trip stream I'm going to be doing on Christmas, work ahead a little bit. I mean, I've already got all the flight plans realized, I just need to work on some of the notes. Yeah, I got quite a few things I've been planning on working on. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. There's not too much news, unfortunately. Just outside of the 777X and all that coming too. Absolutely beautiful scenery, guys. You can't ask for a better day for flying. I like to customize my day for flying because I want to keep VFR, but still I want to find a good area I want to fly. The Warfare Kill and the Embraer E110. Alright guys, let me go ahead and give you some of the last notes for now. So this place here is Namsos, or Namsos in particular. This small town here in Norway is the administrative center of the Namsos municipality. It's known for, it flows right into the Namsen Fjorden, which is a 22-mile fjord that goes around through the area. The Norwegian County Road 17, the coastal highway, runs through here, and just east is the Namsos Airport. It was the terminus of the Namsos line, which is a 32-mile railway line from 1933 until its closure in 2002. It's the site of the Namsos Hospital, which serves the region, and the Namsos Church found there as well. It has a population of 8,413 people, and has a population density of 1,825 inhabitants per square kilometer. Namsos' name comes from there's two parts that comes from this name. The first part comes from the Namsen River, and the last element comes from the mouth, which means mouth of the river Namsen. So that's our town. And finally, our last part is the Namsos Airport that comes here. Now, this airport here is also owned by Avianor. It currently served by dashing aircraft from the Norwegian airline Widerøe, the largest regional airline in the Nordic countries. Yeah, it had 25,000 passengers in 2011, and of course it was also the site of one disaster in 1993 when Widerøe Flight 744 hit the ground during darkness during approach, causing 6 deaths out of the 19 on board. They were flying the Twin Otter. So there's that one too. Okay, so that is the notes for today's flight. I go ahead. We go ahead and lower the speed. I'm gonna just sit here. I'm gonna be very. Thankfully, it's daytime, so we don't have to worry about that too much. So let's see if the bot's working today. Let's check out the bot. It's -95. Do I need to go reactivate the bot? Okay. There we go. The bot's reactivated. So do exclamation word predict and negative number. We should be getting down to the landing site. So here's Namsos to our left. Click onto external view and get a picture of this town. So here's Namsos to our left. Autopilot off. Land this thing. So yeah, we're about to land here. Here's the town of Namsos to our left. So let me land first, guys, so I can watch you guys landings while we're up here. Here we go, guys. The runway's only 2,900 feet, so we should get this thing down pretty quickly. And we're going to turn off the power. And we're going to land right here. And we're stopped. Beautiful landing. Beautiful. Beautiful landing. Negative 135 feet per minute, and Denzel is going to make it. Oh, Denzel, did you? I think Denzel did. I think he bent it. Oh, Denzel, I think you bent it. Oh dear. Yeah, I hate to see that one happen, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and get this thing parked for a second. Let's see, worker kill try to make the landing. Yeah, Denzel bend it. He bend it. Medic. He bent it. Medic. Let's see, warfare kill. Let's see if you can pull off the landing here. Once we do that, I'm going to go ahead and refuel a little bit, and then wait for 5 more minutes. Let you guys go ahead and this will be a good time to spawn in and join me, and we'll be flying our way across. And he's he got it. Oh, nicely done. Good landing. Beautiful landing. Nice. So yeah, that's leg 5 done, guys. So I'm going to be taking a bit of a bio break, and then we'll be heading right back. So this will be a good time for you guys to refuel and get ready for the next flight plan. We'll see you in a bit. I'm back. Okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing refueled. We're gonna go ahead and get this. We're gonna go ahead and put the coordinates for our next one. It should be a straight line. So, put this on your GPS. Echo November. E. Looks like we're landing on a tiny island. Oh, yes, we are going to land on a small island. Norway's got tons, by the way, Worker Killer, Norway's got tons and tons of little islands scattered all over the country, particularly on the western side, especially got tons of islands. We're gonna cruise up to this one to 7,000 feet. I'm gonna be needing some altitude, so we're gonna cruise up to 7,000 feet. By the way. Okay, that's it. Now we can get ready to get this taxi. So I'm going to be waiting for you guys to get in the runway. So we're going to take off from runway 07. Yeah, it's a small island with a pretty small runway of 2,628 feet. But yeah, they got tons of these little stall airports around the country. Because like I said, there's not much land to put a big runway. At least for much of Norway, it doesn't have tons of big runways. Oh. Past. Okay. So just wait here in the runway. Okay. Let's get this twin hour taken off. Power. Raise the trim. $40, $50, $62, and we can take off. Mode selected. And we're gonna climb at 700 feet per minute. We'll lower the throttle a bit. Just lower it a little bit. Hey, DZL, first time chat. I'm getting off. See you, buddy, and have the rest of your flight. Thank you so much, Denzel, for joining along on today's flight. Thank you for flying along with me. And I hope you have a great rest of the day too. And take care and have a lot of fun. See you later, Denzel. We're going to actually go a bit in the higher altitudes for this one. It's going to be a long trip through the Norwegian Sea. I bend it. Hey, don't worry about it. No worries about bending it. You'll get better with it next time, so don't worry about it, okay? You know how many times I bend these landings sometimes? More than you think, so don't fret too much about it, okay? Okay, GPS time, so now locked it back into GPS. So yeah. By the way, guys, if you haven't noticed yet, we do have a command for ! Firefly Air, all lowercase in one word. this is Firefly Air. If you click the link, it'll take you to the virtual airline page. We're 2,000 feet. We're already climbing up there. So we're going to climb up. So we have Warfare Killer with us in the back. But yeah, there's Warfare Killer right here. So yeah, this area here is absolutely beautiful to see. Like, I love flying all over Norway sea. So now we're starting to get up to the northern part of Norway, where we may not get so much light. During the day. We're also climbing up to 7,000 feet for today. I wanted to get to a higher altitude today due to the fact that it'd be more economical going up to a higher altitude and sticking with the low altitude stuff. And then, of course, in sports news, the World Cup actually has happened, and we got quite a few countries qualified. Brazil, Portugal, France, the United States of America made it to the round 16, England, Senegal, and the Netherlands, and just recently Australia now qualifies for the World Cup. They're definitely pretty. I'm happy to see the Americans make the round 16. I'm just hoping to get past the round 16 this time around. Now the question is are we going to be seeing the rest of the group stages the next couple days? We still have Poland and Argentina and Saudi Arabia and Mexico for qualification, and then tomorrow is Group F, the rest of Group F and E, which is Croatia, Belgium, Canada, Morocco, Japan versus Spain, and Costa Rica versus Germany. And then Friday is Group H and G. We have the Group H matches between South Korea and Portugal, and Ghana and Uruguay, and then Group G, Serbia and Switzerland, and Cameroon and Brazil. So yeah, the Americans are now facing the Netherlands. It's gonna be interesting now we go against the whole Netherlands. I know the Dutch are pretty good at football, or soccer as we call it in the Americas. But currently, so far from the bracket, from the standings, Poland's Poland's currently in the leader with Argentina, so Poland can actually play pretty well versus Saudi Arabia. Poland can play well versus that as well. I think they got a good chance moving on Poland, which with Lenonowski. Yeah, I was not expecting Australia to move on to the World Cup. To the World Cup, I was not expecting Australia. Like I said, I'm not the most educated on football, so I do apologize. The Group F is led by Croatia and Morocco. I mean, that would be shocking if Belgium manages to not even make it to the group of 16, despite the fact Belgium is one of the best teams in the world currently, or at least ranked one of the best teams. Brazil and Switzerland, I mean, Brazil's most definitely going to make it for Brazil. I'm not surprised Brazil's a global superpower when it comes to football. Yeah, definitely a very interesting World Cup per se in terms of matchups. Yeah, but we're definitely going up to around 6,700 feet. But you can definitely see from a higher altitude the beauty of Norway's scenery. So yeah, so now we're going to go ahead and I want to talk about a couple more things once we get to altitude. So I'm gonna talk about even more facts about Norway while we stay here not doing much. So a couple more interesting things about Norway. In fact, in the Norwegian language, the country is not called Norway. In the Norwegian language, it's actually known as Norge. In the most modern Norwegian. In fact, the full country name of Norway in English is the Kingdom of Norway. In Norwegian, it's actually written as Kongeriket Norge, which is Kongeriket is kingdom, and Norge is Norway. Norway Kingdom. And other names for Norway and other countries include Norwegian in German, Norvega in Spanish and Portuguese, Norvega in Italian, Norvège in French, and Norja in Finnish. In the Norwegian language in Norway is known as Norse. That's an interesting fact that some people don't really know. Norway is also home to Europe's biggest herd of wild reindeer. At around 25,000 animals live up here, which is wild reindeer. And finally, most important, all you people in London, if you notice in Christmas time in Trafalgar Square, you actually might see a Christmas tree in Trafalgar Square. What you guys don't know is that that tree actually comes from Norway. Oh, hey, Dazati Arab with the follow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the follow, Dazati Arab. Welcome. Welcome to the channel. Great to see you, my friend. Norway's incredible. It is. It is an incredible country to visit in real life. I'm hoping that someday I get to visit here in real life. But yeah, I would love to visit Norway. But here's the fact I'm talking about, Google. The reason that Norway actually supplies the city of London a Christmas tree in Trafalgar Square is because the British helped Norway in World War II deal with the Nazi Germans. And they actually, and as a result, the city of Oslo sends to Britain a tree every Christmas. And it's a spruce tree from Oslo Forest. Which is pretty cool about, that's a pretty cool story to actually know about. And finally, Norway's capital was not always known as Oslo. In fact, believe it or not, it was actually originally known as Christiania because of King Christian IV of Norway. And then it was renamed, it was named that all the way till from 1624 to 1925 when it was returned back to its original name of Oslo. It also has a nickname known as Tigerstaden, the city of tigers, named in 1870. And that was because he referred to the city as an inhospitable environment. It's a pretty cool little information about the capital. Hey, first time chat, thanks so much, and it's great to be here. It's great to have you here too, Dazati Arab. I hope you've been doing well yourself. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of these flights, Dazati Arab, since 2021. I've done all sorts of series. I did a Major League Baseball series. That was my very first trip. I've done my Bush series stuff. I'm hoping to resume it back after this journey ends. Maybe do a few Bush trips. I've done Sea Tour series. I'm also hoping to take that back maybe after the events of the World Tour. But yeah, and then I've been doing quite a few series for Firefly Air. I've been doing the Philippines tour, the Japan Island tour, and then my previous one was the biggest adventure I've done, which is Route 66. And now I'm doing the Norway tour, touring all of Norway, and giving you all historical information and facts about Norway, so you guys can actually learn everything you need to know about the country. And I gotta say, Norway is pretty awesome, Dazati Arab. Also, in addition to Dazati Arab, I'm currently flying to. He says I'm good, thanks. And he says he's glad. And Dazati Arab, you said you're glad to find me here. I'm seeing you on various other streams. Yeah, you can see him on quite a lot of other streams. I've helped with Sky Command, with just being there. I'm also pretty well known for being on Flox's channel and helping him out in the chat. Helped him with some of his information. Of course, I help Allison streams with some information from time to time on Allison Johnson streams. And also a mod for Splasher 6's channel as well. So you might see me all throughout the different flights and communities as well. And of course, I'm also there helping other ones too. A lot of other small ones. So I'm pretty active in the community. So here, you can definitely see from back there the Norwegian coast as well. I bought the Vision Jet. Oh yes, a lot of people are liking the Vision Jet. I might end up getting the Vision Jet after all. I mean, I definitely like the citation longitude, but I definitely would like to have a more modern, smaller jet. So I might end up getting the Vision Jet. So but yeah, it's a really good plane, and for $25, I mean, it's an absolutely worth the price. Absolutely, it's definitely more than worth the price. Now, I'm currently in the Twin Otter today, Daza. This is the newly updated Twin Otter from Aerosoft, and the update was actually a pretty huge one. The Twin Otter now has brand new sounds. The sounds just got a complete overhaul. New sounds on everything. And Merc came by, and Merc and I came to the same agreement. They really, really, really improved the sounds of Twin Otter. It sounds so much better. It sounds like a proper Twin Otter should. I'm not kidding. The sounds are incredible. Like, the sounds when they released the Twin Otter back in February, like in January, February, like the sounds were a huge issue. But hey, glad they fixed it now than later. I have the Twin in my hangar, but it's got so many planes. Oh, I know. It's kind of hard to find the time to fly them all. I feel you 100%, Daza. I mean, there's so many airplanes I really want to take on stream. I want to take the Spruce Goose on a stream. I've already flown Jenny. Of course, I'm going to be flying the DC-3 for many months for my DC-3 around the world trip. I'm going to be flying that on Sundays. All around the world. Of course, I love the new de Havilland Beaver. I think that is the real gem of the pack of the anniversary updates. I definitely like the A310, but the A310's not my kind of plane to fly in the sim. I'd rather stick to the 737 for me. So I definitely see the appeal of the A310. I definitely want to Spruce Goose stream one of these days, eating the Spruce Goose, taking it on a flight with the Spruce Goose. I've already flown the Jenny once. That was the last leg of the Route 66 journey. I probably want to do something at least once in the Spirit of St. Louis or something. But yeah, I agree with you. There's so many planes. And gosh, I mean, for next year, I mean, there's even more planes I want for the next year. I mean, the Dash 7 from Pilots. It might come at the end, it might come next year. There's Beaver Simulations 757, another Boeing airliner that I really, really want. And of course, a lot of other planes. There's the Pilatus PC-21. There's the new Pilatus PC-12 from similar studios that I might want to get. Yeah, there's so many planes. And that's not even counting some of the local legends that Microsoft may come out with. I may think about getting the Caribou for next year. Gosh, there's just so many planes to pick. It's not fun. Oh yeah, wide bars are coming. Yeah, the Boeing 777. I'm definitely getting my hands on the 777 from PMDG. I'm getting my hands on that pretty soon. Yeah. Yeah, more planes than sentiments, Daza would say. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Daza. There's so many. But the thing about Norway I love is just all the islands and all the fjords. Just great scenery. Yeah. Right, he says, right, I have to go to kids ready for bed, but I got notifications. Oh, thank you so much, Dada T Arab. Thank you so much for coming along. By the way, I stream at 1700 Zulu at on Wednesdays, and if you wanted to catch me on Sundays, Daza, I'm actually at 1500 Zulu on Sundays. So you guys can actually catch me at those 2 times as well. So just to keep in mind for all you people coming here for the first time, that's kind of my times. But it is my schedule, and that's what I do for every one of my streams. Roger that. Yep, says Dada, it's great to have you here. I hope you have a great rest of the night. So to our right here ahead of us is the island of Røstlandet. And right here you can definitely see the peak known as Item Sleen, known as Item Beach. So there is our little island down. And of course, also does it too, I have my Discord up here as well, by the way. So if you definitely want to catch on to my Discord, I have the notifications on the Discord. Ignore that. PT was on an hour early today. Oh, he's on an hour early today. Yeah, we can definitely read his channel afterwards. Ah, I didn't know he was streaming earlier. Okay, why on Southeast Asia servers? Good question, Worker Killer. The reason is that Southeast Asia has the least amount of server issues. Because most people where I live, a lot of people are on the East USA servers, but that's had the most server problems. And that affects my bandwidth and stuff, so I moved to Southeast Asia where there's not as much lag and all that. The servers seem to be the smoothest. But yeah, good question, Worker Killer. That's actually a good question. That's what a lot of streamers have moved their servers to, is Southeast Asia, because there's not as many people on those. That probably solves a pretty good answer. Okay, I've sped this up a little bit. So we sped the servers up I sped the speed up a little bit. We should be going around. Look at that to our right. Look at this. Look at the mountains on that. That's cool. Oh, isn't that just cool? Look at this. Look at the mountains. Oh, that's cool. Look at the mountain. That's just... Yeah, the scenery here is absolutely stunning. I completely agree with you, Dougal. The scenery here in Norway is awesome. And don't worry, Dougal, we're gonna head back to the mainland. So the main flight plan is we're gonna go around the islands first. And the next leg should be really beautiful too. There's tons of fjords around the area we're gonna be going to on Sunday. We're gonna be going through a lot of the fjords. Hey Fox, yep. Hey Fox. So yep, we're just going through the Norwegian coast. So that's we're gonna go up to one of the islands outside the coast. So we're not too much farther out, guys. We're only about 109 nautical miles away. It's the end of the stream, and we're gonna be raiding Tuto Murphy afterwards. This is actually Murph's first stream in over a week. I actually kid you not. It's actually Tuto Murphy's first stream in over a week. Because Murph's been sick over the last couple of days. He's been sick. That's why we're going to go a little fast on this one. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get the rest of the slides done for today, if you guys don't mind. So let's start with the first one, the administrative divisions of Norway. So Norway is actually divided into 11 administrative first level counties because it's a unitary state. And they're administered directly through the directly elected council assemblies that elect the county governor. In addition, the king and government are represented in every county by the Fylkesman, who acts as a governor. Here's a couple of the counties as well. And basically, the counties include Aldegjerd, Innlandet, Mørk-Aurdal, Nordland, Oslo, Rogaland, Østfold og Telemark, Troms og Finnmark, Trøndelag, Røstlandet, and Viken. It used to be 18, but it was reduced in 2020. There's also the island group of Svalbard, way up there, and John Mayen. 96 settlements in Norway currently have C status, and the city boards contentious for their respective municipalities. Now, counties and municipalities have local autonomy, but it's circumscribed by national controls. Counties and municipalities are subject to the oversight of a governor, known as a statsforvalter, appointed by the king in the council state, and they're divided into 356 different municipalities, or communer, as of 2020. The municipalities are directly elected by assemblies, which elect a board of aldermen and a mayor. So you can definitely see the different governments of Norway. 2 weeks and 12 days. Ah, gotcha. And of course, Norway has a couple of dependencies as well, if you guys didn't know. They include the islands of John Maven and Svalbard in the North Sea, Peter Island in Antarctica and Queen Waltland, and the world's most remote island of Bouvet Island. So definitely some very interesting places. The largest populated areas of Norway include Oslo at number 1, Bergen at number 2, Stavanger or Sandnes at number 3, Trondheim in 4th, and 5th is Drammen. Are the top 5 largest cities in all of Norway. I couldn't find a good picture of the human rights in Norway, but Norway is one of the most progressive countries in the world. And in fact, this sort of progressive heritage came here as early as 1884 when 171 leading figures co-founded the Norwegian Association for Women's Rights, and they successfully campaigned for women's right to education, women's suffrage, and right to work. And from the 1970s, gender equality also came high on the state agenda, including a public body to promote gender equality. And as a result, civil society organizations can also continue to play an important role in women's rights today are organized within the Norwegian Women's Lobby. In 1990, the Norwegian Constitution was amended to grant absolute progenitor to the Norwegian throne, meaning the eldest child, regardless of gender, takes precedence in the line of successor. Currently, the successor to the throne is the eldest son of the king. And in terms of LGBT rights, Norway was the first country in the world to enact anti-discrimination law protecting the rights of gays and lesbians. And in 1993, Norway became the second country in the world to legalize civil union partnerships for same-sex couples. And Norway became the 6th country in the world in 2009 to legalize same-sex marriage. So Norway is a very progressive country and a very as sort as well. And then the last major slide is the Norwegian Armed Forces, the Armed Forces of Norway, by the way. So the Norwegian Armed Forces is the military organization responsible for the defense of Norway, consisting of 5 branches: the Norwegian Army, the Royal Norwegian Navy, which also includes the Coast Guard, the Norwegian Air Force, the Home Guard, which basically the Home Guard is basically very similar to the United States National Guard, and the Norwegian Cyber Defense Force, as well as several joint departments all around Norway. In peacetime, the military force of Norway is around 23,250 personnel, and around 63,250 in total with current military personnel, conscripts, and the Norwegian Home Guard and full mobilization. They also have the highest spending among European NATO members per capita at around $7.2 billion US. And an organized military was first established in Norway in the 9th century, with its major focus being naval warfare. Which makes sense considering if you know your Norwegian history with the Vikings and stuff, naval warfare was a big deal. The army was created in 1628 as a part of their union with Denmark, followed by 2 centuries of regular wars, and a separate Norwegian military was established in 1814. But the military did not see combat until the German occupation of Norway in 1940. So the organization of the commander-in-chief of the Norwegian military is King Harald V. However, the de facto decision-making is made by the cabinet. But the chief of defense, mainly a general admiral, is the professional head and leader of the armed forces. So basically, you have all about their military as well. That is a little bit about the Norwegian armed forces. So some of their military stuff has been around since before. So, that is a bit about the armed forces of Norway. And then, in terms of other things about foreign relations, and finally, I didn't talk about this, but the foreign relations of Norway. Norway maintains embassies in 82 countries, and 60 countries have an embassy here in Norway. All of them are in Oslo. Norway is also a founding member of the United Nations, NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and the Council of Europe. However, despite all that, Norway is not a member of the European Union, as the Norwegian electorate actually rejected the Treaties of Accession throughout 2 different referendums, though they retain their membership in the European Economic Area and the EU market. And of course, famously as well, in 1990s, they participated in the brokering of the Oslo Accords, which tried to resolve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Unfortunately, it didn't really work. So there is that. So that is about the politics of Norway event. I try to keep it as apolitical as I can. I hope I did a good job. So I'm gonna be descending down to around 2,000 feet. But we're gonna descend twice. Okay, 300 feet per minute. We're going to descend 300 feet. We're going to descend about 300 feet. Actually, 200 feet. Yeah, let's descend 200 feet. Slowly make a descent. So yeah, I think that's most of the stream. That's all the slides for today. We only got 2 more left. We're still around 80 nautical miles out. Yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking around to the channel today and being around with the stream. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it as well for the continued support of the channel and everything else. So yeah, this would be the last leg for today. So yeah, that's going to be basically what it is for the next couple of minutes. Let's take a look outside and we see Walker Kill still being here. So basically, for the next couple of days, for my plans for the rest of the week, just continue working on the Norway stream. I'm going to be getting these complete. I'm going to work on a few things for my journey around the world stuff. And then possibly work on some more Firefly Air admin stuff being worked on as well. So that's going to be my plans for the next couple of days. So 71 miles down. Anyway, with this, I'm just descending this thing slowly. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and you see all the different. Look at all the little islands back. I mean, there's the island of Torsholmen in Sorsana. But if you want to know how many islands actually Norway has, Norway has a lot of islands. You wanna know? Of the geography of Norway. So I'm going to talk about some geography stuff about Norway. I know we already covered it last time, but so here's what's interesting about Norway. Norway has a total area of 324,220 square kilometers, or 125,000 square miles. Basically, the contiguous area of Norway is actually slightly smaller than that of Vietnam, but larger than the Ivory Coast. And basically, the area of it is equal to that of the United States of New Mexico. And if you add the islands of Svalbard and Jomtien, it is larger than Japan, which makes it only slightly smaller than the United States state of California. I hope you guys, like I said, I hope you guys are gonna do well. I know there's not a lot for me to talk about right now. Just try and enjoy the piece. Just enjoying the time. We're about 59 miles out, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to talk about Røstlandet. I know we're about 59 miles out, but I want to go ahead and talk about it. So this is the village of Røstlandet. It's currently the administrative center of the Røst municipality in Norway. It's well known as a fishing village during this time. Look, it's located in the northern part of the island. That's where you find the airport. It's also got a church there. There was the Rose Church, and it's located of that of the municipality. This village has a population of 353 people, given a population density of 609 inhabitants per square kilometer. However, despite its small size, many tourists actually come visit the island every year, probably because of the great fishing. It's connected to several islands around the area by bridges, and there's often ferry routes connecting this island to the mainland town of Bodo and other areas. And basically, it's connected to this island known as Røstlandet, and this island is basically 1.4 square miles large. So it's a tiny island. It's small. The highest point is actually only 36 feet above sea level. The rest of the island, though, outside of this fishing village, in the airport, the rest of it's uninhabited, mainly dominated by sheep farming and fish racks that are used to dry fish to make dried and salted cod. Definitely a pretty interesting little area. If you guys don't know this, on Sunday we'll be visiting the area of Molde. So if you guys don't know about that place, this is a very well-known archipelago, and it has some very beautiful fjords and all that. Lots of mountains and fjords, so we'll be flying over all of that. It's also pretty famous for the Northern Lights and all that, so we should definitely see some beautiful scenery. Making the speed a little faster. So now we're under 50 nautical miles out. We're not too much farther out. We should be in there by 10-15 minutes. So we should be 10-15 minutes away. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the stream like I am. It's actually pretty nice and peaceful, though. But I mean, I'm gonna have to get used to flying a lot of ocean because when we do the around the world trip, there is going to be some long flights over the ocean. So I'm going to have to find something creative to do. So yeah, so apparently next week, so I'm going to be talking about another Norway topic. I'm going to be talking about the economy of Norway, the transportation, and that, coming in next week's video, which will talk about the economy, the resources, transportation, research and tourism, and also a little bit about the demographics as well. So there'll be plenty of topics to talk about within the next couple of weeks. Yep, we're almost. Yeah, it looks like the sun's already setting here. We're already moving up north, and this thing's already set. Like I said, the moon, like I said earlier, the farther north we go to Norway, the less time we have sun. And it gets even, and like I said last week, it gets even more apparent with how much the Earth rotating. I think all the way over there is our island, which is really small and hard to see. There's our island way ahead of us. It's so small, we can't even barely see. Sorry about not talking about much. So yeah, I hope you guys are actually enjoying your new Vision jets and see what other news around Flight Sim. So basically for the book as well, I'll be posting more information around the world during the next couple of days, as well in the Discord. So that's what I'm going to be working on as well. Just press this up as well. Okay, we're just under 3 nautical miles. Let's go ahead and talk about our final stop here. And this is Roast Airport. This is our final stop for today. Echo November Romeo Sierra. This regional airport serves the Roast municipality in Norway. It's located at the northern edge of the main island. It's owned and operated by the state-owned Avianor, which operates most of the civil airports in the country. And its remote tower is remotely controlled by Bodo. It handled 9,889 passengers in 2014. Provided by Widerøe, who operates the Dash 8-100 planes, to Bodo Airport and Lincoln's Airport. Now, this area was first handled by seaplanes in the 1960s and helicopters by 1970. But the airport itself opened in 1986, mainly operating the Twin Otters. From 2000 to 2001, it was operated by Gar Air, and then from 2003 to 2008 by Cato Air. They flew Twin Otters, used to fly Twin Otters, but now they fly over in DHC 8-100. So yeah, that is a bit about our final stop. I guess it's a long flat. I think our island on the right is bigger than the one on the right. Yeah, the island that's right next to us is bigger. The one we're visiting is, yeah, Bodo is the bigger one, way to the right. It's a much bigger airport. Well, it's one of the longer runway airports in the country. But the reason there's so many smaller airports around Norway is because, like I said, you're not doing much space. And basically, for guys who don't know, the Dash 8 is a pretty effective regional transport. A range of about 1,000 miles, can cruise up to around, like the newer models, the Q400, for example, can go up to a Mach high-speed cruise of 360 knots. Really quick. And those engines can go to 5,000 horsepower. Which is nuts. Like, for example, when you compare, yeah, it's the long flat, it is. Bodo is the long flat one, this one's going to be pretty short. To put that in perspective, the Twin Otter ones can go like the 500 horsepower. So this is significantly more powerful. Yes, the scenery is so nice. I'm gonna have to post some screenshots later. Oh, that would be some really cool screenshots to put in the Discord. So yep, we're about 17 nautical miles out. I think it's about time we're going to post some predictions. So let's put exclamation point predict, negative number, and we can go ahead and get this lane done. Then we can go ahead and wrap up the stream. I'm gonna land on runway 02. Runway 02 is the runway we're going to actually land for today. yeah, I really enjoyed this Twin Otter flight, and now that the sounds of the Twin Otter have been greatly improved, I'm definitely gonna fly the Twin Otter a lot. So, for next week, for Sunday, I'm probably gonna fly a different plane. I might be flying something different. Maybe the Goose, maybe, on Sunday. I haven't flown the Goose much, but... So there's that as well. So there it is. There's our final stop. Here's our final stop. Right in front of us. It's a tiny island. It's small. I want to say thank you to all you guys who stuck around for the stream today. I know it's kind of interesting today with Murph being with everyone have to leave for another stream. But for all you guys who stuck around, thank you guys so much. You've been the MVPs for today. So yeah, we're about to make our landing here at Røstlandet. Like I said, we don't have too much more of lights, so we definitely want to make the most of our daylight time. So let me go ahead and get the landing lights on. Landing lights are on. Taxi lights on too. Alright. All the lights are on. We should be getting this thing ready. And here is our landing. There's our string. I'm going to go ahead and disengage the autopilot. land now. Like I said, short strip. This is going to be a pretty short strip, so... But land this thing and then we can get rid of it. There we go. Let's see what I got. Hey, negative 177. Not bad at all with the land. Not bad at all. That's a solid land. That's it. Get this thing turned off, shall we? Okay. And that's it. Welcome to our airport here at Roast. Welcome to our stop, guys. Roast Airport, Echo, November, Romeo, Sierra. We're gonna wait till Warfare Kill makes his hopefully makes his landing approach, and then we can get ready for the raid. So, guys, thank you so much for coming here today on this really fun, really relaxing stream today. So, guys, thank you so much. So the plans going for Sunday stream is going to be we're going to travel through Lofton, which is the beautiful got tons of beautiful fjords and all that. So thank you so much, guys, for sticking around. So we're going to head up to so Sunday's going to be a trip. We're going to go through Loftofen and fly through much of the mountains of the north. Make our way down to Tromsø. And then from Tromsø, we're going to head up to Hammerfest. So it should be some great flying and very good landing, Warfare Killer. That is a very, very fine landing. Very, very fine landing. Let's see. Very good landing. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming around today's stream. We're going to raid the Two-Toe Murphy. Thank you guys so much for coming along today. For joining me on today's flight. I really appreciate all you guys' support as always. So thank you guys so much. We're gonna raid Two-Toe Murphy. I think he hasn't been streaming himself since last Friday. Not last Friday, but in 2 weeks. So yeah, we're gonna go check out his stream. And I hope you guys take care and see you then. Bye everyone.